Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, boys?
Week 5.
R- Running Rouse podcast. Here we are.
Let's
Hit
get
me,
it.
I'm open.
Let's get it.
Let's do this.
Week
Look,
5 looks like it was a good week. Week 4 was some troublesome, but let's get some rebound for some teams and some tough matchups. We ready to dive into this?
yes, sir.
Yes,
Brady, you look
sir.
better than my Giants.
Hey, someone's got to.
No doubt.
I think I'm just about anybody. But all right, Thursday game. Chicago Bears 0-4 going into the Washington Commanders 2-2. Washington's a 6.5 point favorite here. Oh, never mind. Slid to 5.5 just a little bit ago. Um,
Interesting.
so Washington or the Bears showed a little bit that they have some offense and they got some power last week versus Denver, but those are probably the two worst defenses in football, unfortunately. So them moving the ball on Denver it won't be as impressive or as easy as them moving it across Commanders. Um, Washington proved a lot versus Philly. They sent them to overtime, and what was that? I mean, the scoring line was I think 6 points that game. They ended up losing by 6, but they sending it to overtime should give you the payout for that.
I know you were right on the cusp.
But those are tough matchups. So for this matchup, Bears versus Commanders, what are you looking at, Eddie?
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy. This is going to be an interesting quarterback matchup here. You got Justin Fields against Sam Howell. Okay, Fields is 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the year. Sam Howell 4 touchdowns with 5 interceptions on the year. Justin Fields is really getting the brunt of the entire debacle going on over at Chicago. Kind of like how Daniel Jones is over there in New York, throwing that interception run back for a touchdown to Witherspoon of Illinois. Very interesting. As I'm talking about the Chicago game, couldn't forget about that. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna look back at the last week here and how good Washington played against Philadelphia team who is regarded as one of the best in the NFC. If not best, say top 2, top 3, arguably one of the best teams in the NFC. And with that being said, the Chicago Bears have done nothing but ride the struggle bus from week 1 all the way up until week 4. They almost can pull one out, and it almost went to overtime against the Denver Broncos, which was an incredible game. And he kind of basically gave it up himself at the end of the game there. So you could argue that that's why he's been getting some of the brunt on that. I'm going to go the Commanders here because I think that the Commanders are going to have the game in the trenches. I think they'll be able to keep Howell a little bit more upright than what's going to happen to Justin Fields in my mind. I would take Washington with the points here, 5.5. How about you, Char?
Give me the Bears and the 5.5 now. I definitely would have took the 6.5. Reason being, I kept this one simple when I was looking at it. The Commanders each week has played to the level of their competition. Week 1 with the Cardinals, they played down to them. Week 2 against Denver, similar scenario, and then week 3 they put together a great performance. I had them on the upset; they almost pulled it, and they gave Philly all that they could handle. I wasn't too surprised about that, and I think this is going to be a similar matchup. It's tough when I look at the Bears because it's like, who are they really? Are they the bad offense that they were the first 2 weeks of the season? Or were they the offense we seen in the first half of the Denver game? I think it's somewhere in between. Eddie touched on it before the season even started with the Bears finding their identity, and I thought that was a really true statement with them. I look for there to be a lot of points in this game. I think it's going to be similar to the Denver Bronco game. I think they're both getting into the 20s. I think you're playing your fantasy starters. Give me the points with the Bears. I'll get the Bears on the upset 24-23.
Big upset.
How about you, Brady? How you seeing this thing?
Uh, I got to ride with Chicago in that defense. The front seven is looking good. They got 13 sacks on the season already. Chicago's only got 2. So when it comes to
Talking
pressuring these
about 10.
quarterbacks, So when it comes to pressuring these quarterbacks, I think Commanders are going to be getting after Fields, and I think Howell will be able to actually sit and get his reads. I think Terry and Dotson are both going to, have big days here. I like Washington just on the fact that Fields is going to have a lot more trouble than Howell will.
Watch out, it's Halloween. Scary Terry.
Yeah, I look for Washington, Robinson and Gibson to have good games too, because I feel like they're going to be able to muscle up against that Bears front too. But again, for me, it's the Commanders. They've been playing to the level of their competition. I could definitely see them winning, but I think this is a closer game than that point spread suggests. It's going to be a good one though.
Yeah,
All right.
I think in the trenches, I think that's where this game's going to get won, and Fields has not been given what he needs to be given to be a pocket passer, or even just a regular friggin' rollout passer, with the way things are going for him. I mean, I think that's their Achilles heel. I mean, they went and got receivers, whether the kid from Pittsburgh plays or not. Claypool, I don't think it even matters. I think if he doesn't have time, like against I forget who they played where I thought it was Buffalo, but it's not Buffalo. But if he doesn't have time to throw the ball, it's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. I think that reigns true across the NFL. With quarterbacks we're seeing struggle, whether it's Joe Burrow, whether it's Daniel
Daniel
Jones,
Jones.
Zach Wilson before last week. Like, if these guys don't have time to go through to get to that second read, I mean, it's tough sledding. It really is.
All right. Anything else to add here for Thursday Night Football?
Nope. But I do think this is a game you start all your fantasy people. Running backs, wide receivers, maybe not so much the quarterbacks, but I think the skill position guys, I think those are all good starts this game.
Yeah, I thought about starting Mooney. I got Mooney.